What is silently controlling every decision, income, and your current position? It's not your boss, not your circumstances, it's certainly not fate. It is your mindset that is shaping your entire life, either leading to breakthroughs or dragging you into stagnation. When habitual thinking becomes a golden cage, all potential slowly rusts away. Opportunities pass by, actions are delayed, and life turns into a series of repetitive, inescapable days. Some see obstacles and turn back, others see obstacles and move forward. The difference does not lie in the conditions, but in how one perceives themselves. This is not a comforting message, but a wake-up call for minds that want to rise, yet remain trapped in their old ways of thinking. Rich thinking and poor thinking are not found in your wallet, but in how your brain responds to every opportunity, challenge, and limitation. Part 1. The source of difference. The mind determines the class. Wealth is not a gift from fate, but the direct result of a nurtured mindset. Mindset is the seed, while wealth is merely the fruit that follows. A progressive thinker always starts with the question, how can I achieve this? Instead of can I do this? They don't ask for permission to dream, they decide. Meanwhile, a poor mindset paralyzes willpower with negative whispers like, I can't. I don't have the means. The inner answer determines which door opens. Class is not in income, it lies in the mentality you carry into life. Thought is the starting point of action. Action is the only bridge to results. People with a wealthy mindset never wait for luck. They ask questions that stimulate the brain. What's the solution? Who has done this? Where should I start? These questions generate energy, strategy, behavior, and outcomes. Meanwhile, those stuck in a poor mindset kill action in its infancy. Their mistake is not doing it wrong, but not doing it all. Mindset dictates behavioral rhythm, and it's repeated behavior that creates the boundary between failure and breakthrough. The danger of a poor mindset is that it's not loud. It silently infiltrates every small reaction. When it sees success, it envies instead of learning. When it sees opportunity, it doubts instead of exploring. In contrast, a wealthy mindset is not flashy, but is always ready to receive and adapt. It's not the result of luck, but a deliberate daily choice. This mindset nurtures inner strength, awakens potential, and leads people out of outdated limits. It's not a difference in assets, but a difference in response to reality. No barrier is scarier than false beliefs about oneself. When you believe you can't, all opportunities become invisible. When you believe you can, the path reveals itself. Mindset is the root springboard of action, the silent operating system that decides whether you persist or give up. The wealthy are not always more talented, but they persist after failed attempts. Anyone can change by starting with a mindset reset. When your thinking changes, you don't just change outcomes, you change your entire destiny. Part 2. Psychological mechanism. Positivity generates energy, negativity drains potential. Every emotion you choose to hold sends a signal to the entire body. When you maintain negative emotions such as fear, anxiety, anger, jealousy, or inferiority, you are draining precious mental energy into inner resistance. Your mind is like an electric circuit. If interrupted by negative current, the entire system becomes paralyzed. No inspiration, no action, no creativity. And the scary part is, you don't even realize it, as it happens silently every day. Negative emotions are an invisible force that pulls you down without any external push. On the contrary, positive emotions are a perfect conductor for all progress. When you nurture gratitude, peace, hope, and a positive attitude, you reset your internal psychological control system. Positivity doesn't eliminate difficulties, but it helps you see direction in the darkness. Positive thinking is not wishful dreaming. It is a sharp tool that helps you see opportunities in crises, stay calm in confusion, and make timely, accurate decisions. Positive emotions not only enhance personal energy, but also turn you into a magnet that attracts people and opportunities on the same frequency. When you live in a positive mental state, you enter a cycle of constant upgrading. Positive belief generates positive emotion. Positive emotion generates quality action. Quality action leads to positive results, and results reinforce the original belief. This is a real positive chain reaction, not just theory. Conversely, if caught in a negative spiral, your mind system also repeats a downward slope. Not because you're inferior, but because you're living under the wrong signal. Emotional transformation is not distant. It starts with a new mental choice. The key is intentionally managing the space of your own mind. You can't stop others from being negative, but you can choose not to keep it. Guard your mental gate like a warrior. Don't allow fear to shape your vision. Don't let anger control your reactions. Let hope be your standard, and faith be your guiding energy. The wealthy differ not only in assets, but in their ability to maintain emotions that benefit action. Success comes not only from doing right, but from thinking right before doing. All great change starts from within. Part 3. Mindset and the law of attraction. When inner energy shapes external opportunities. Everyone emits an energy field based on their attitude and beliefs. People with positive thinking carry confidence, sincerity, generosity, and optimism. Signals that make others feel comfortable, trusting, and eager to connect. This isn't a communication technique, but a natural effect of a positive inner state. When you live in positive emotions, you become a magnet for opportunities. Successful people will proactively connect with you because they sense your positive energy like a shared frequency. This attraction doesn't come from appearance, but from alignment between inner and outer action. Negative energy fields also work, but in the opposite direction. When you live in doubt, blame, inferiority, and dissatisfaction, you emit signals that cause others to be cautious or avoidant. Even if you're talented, negative energy makes you heavy and lifeless. You may know what you want, but no one wants to reach out to pull you along. This is the paradox where many capable people remain stuck in small circles. Positive thinking is not about becoming someone else, but about becoming the most attractive version of yourself, and opportunities will come on their own. The way the world responds to you does not stem from the outside, but from your own vibrational wave. Positive thinkers act as if good things are coming. They walk with clarity, confidence, and forward-moving energy. Positive expectations not only help you perform better, but also make others believe you deserve what you pursue. When you recalibrate your mindset, you reroute your entire life's gravitational pull. Opportunities don't appear by chance. They are drawn in by the version of you within. Part 4. Real-life reflex. Two minds, same situation, two destinies. Same moment, same image, but two minds create two completely different scenarios. When someone with a poor mindset sees success, they don't think about how to reach it, but immediately sigh with self-pity. I could never have that. This whisper seems harmless, but it instantly shuts down the brain's action pathways. No questions, no ideas, no motivation. The nervous system stops activating. That mental state is surrender. From that moment, every opportunity becomes meaningless. Meanwhile, someone with a wealthy mindset faces the same situation and lights up their thinking with an inspired question. How can I get that? Just one small mental reflex change, and the nervous system shifts into action mode. The brain starts looking for solutions, mapping scenarios, suggesting resources, and analyzing opportunities. Positive emotions arise, and inner excitement becomes the catalyst pushing steps forward. They don't need all the answers at once, but they've done what the other dared not. Begin. The difference between those who advance and those who remain still doesn't lie in intelligence or circumstances, but in mental reflex toward reality. One sees a wall, the other sees a chance to jump higher. One freezes in doubt, the other sweats in action. The moment you choose between I can't and how can I is the moment destiny shifts. And that reflex isn't innate, it's the result of a mindset trained over time. To change fate, first change how you respond to challenges. Part 5. Parallel models comparing wealthy and poor mindsets. A wealthy mindset always begins with an expansive question. How can I achieve that? Meanwhile, a poor mindset freezes with a limiting statement. I can't. The difference lies in one side paving the way for action, while the other destroys all potential for growth. Open-ended questions activate the brain's creativity, resource gathering, and problem solving. Negative affirmations halt forward thinking, trapping the mind in a loop of lack. From this initial reflex alone, a person's life journey splits into two directions, one of growth, the other of erosion. The wealthy mindset sees opportunity in every situation. They don't deny difficulty, but choose to find potential within the challenge. They ask, how can I make the most of this? On the other hand, the poor mindset sees only risks, dangers, and potential failure. Instead of acting, they procrastinate. Instead of preparing, they retreat. For those with positive thinking, obstacles are starting points. For those with negative thinking, obstacles are dead ends. This is not a difference in intelligence, but in how situations are interpreted, which determines whether you rise or stay stuck. People with wealthy thinking aim to expand income. They're not satisfied with saving every penny, but focus on generating new cash flow. As their needs grow, they seek more solutions to meet them. The poor mindset chooses to live in cutback mode. When expenses rise, they don't think of increasing value. They think of suppressing desire. This creates a choking loop. The more they fear lack, the more they limit themselves. Wealthy thinkers understand that resources come from proactivity. They don't compromise with circumstances. They explore, they create, they expand to feel abundance, and through that, they truly become wealthy. A clear metaphor, both see Goliath. The poor thinker steps back and says, he's too big, I can't win. The wealthy thinker steps forward and says, he's too big, I can't miss. Same reality, two interpretations, two outcomes. This proves the truth. Reality doesn't determine results. How we approach reality does. Positive thinkers use fear as a springboard. Negative thinkers use fear as chains. And this isn't momentary emotion. It's a deeply ingrained thinking style formed over the years. The wealthy mindset sees every obstacle as a step. Each fall is a learning moment. They build the belief that failure is temporary, not destiny. In contrast, the poor mindset sees every mistake as proof of incompetence. They cling to feelings of, I'm not good enough, I'm unlucky, I'll never make it. These beliefs become the biggest barriers. No one stops them. They shut themselves down. The wealthy thinker moves forward because they allow themselves to try again. Their mindset is the hand that pulls themselves out of the mud. And that makes all the difference. Proactivity is a defining trait of a wealthy mindset. They don't wait for perfection to begin. They begin to move toward perfection. Meanwhile, the poor mindset stays trapped waiting for the ideal moment, which never exists. Positive thinkers choose to engage, to fix mistakes, rest when tired, then continue. Negative thinkers wait endlessly for certainty, and that waiting prevents action. Opportunity waits for no one. It comes to those who are ready, not hesitant. And the ability to embrace risk proactively creates the breakthrough of a wealthy mindset. Finally, the wealthy mindset always lives in a state of positive expectation. They believe good things are coming, so their actions carry welcoming energy. Meanwhile, the poor mindset lives in anxiety, so their actions are filled with fear of loss. One side aims for results, the other avoids failure. This difference permeates every decision, from words to daily choices. Mindset is where destiny is formed, and you have the power to choose the mindset you maintain. When you practice wealthy thinking, you don't just change how you think, you create a stronger version of yourself. Part 6. Unconscious bias, the hidden operating system behind every action. Everyone lives with a mental operating system they mostly don't recognize. It's a collection of beliefs, biases, and emotions programmed from childhood, by family, environment, and early experiences. People with a poor mindset often don't know they're running on a limited unconscious platform. They don't tell themselves, "I want to fail." But their underlying thought system doesn't allow them to dream big, act boldly, or go far. The limitation isn't in the outside world, it's the voice inside their head every time they're about to act. And that's the first place that needs to be decoded. The wealthy mindset doesn't arise randomly. It's the result of a deliberate process of rewriting personal beliefs. Positive thinkers choose to master their inner narrative instead of passively repeating old patterns. They question the limiting statements they once believed. They reframe capability. They replace "I can't" with "I don't know how yet, but I will learn." This isn't artificial positivity, but a restructuring of thought to generate new responses. Transformation doesn't happen in one day, but each moment of challenging an old bias is a step closer to cognitive freedom. If you're unaware of what's running inside, you'll keep reacting with old instincts, even when you want to change. All actions stem from underlying beliefs. If you believe you're unworthy, you'll reject opportunity. If you believe money is evil, you won't retain wealth. That's why the root of every breakthrough is the courage to dialogue with your internal operating system. When you rewrite that program with new beliefs, your outer life will precisely reflect what you've changed from within. Part 7. The causal law of thought. What you think, you live. Every thought you repeat becomes a command written into your mental operating system. When a thought becomes a habit, it forms a belief. When the belief is strong enough, it creates behavior. Repeated behavior creates results, and results reinforce the original belief. It's a closed loop, but immensely powerful. If you believe you're worthy, you act with confidence, and positive results strengthen that belief. But if you believe you're inferior, self-limiting actions will lead to failure. Nothing you go through is random. It exactly reflects what you're broadcasting from within. The human mind is like a living magnet. What you often think becomes a vibrational frequency and attracts similar things. Think wealth, you start spotting money-making opportunities. Think poverty, you only see hardship, risks, and crisis. The difference lies not in real circumstances, but in how your mind is programmed. Positive thinkers emit waves of hope, learning, and action. They attract like-minded people, unexpected doors, and timely support. This isn't magic. It's the scientific reaction of mental energy. Positivity isn't just a temporary emotional state. It's a daily conscious choice. Positive thinkers start the day with expectation, work with a spirit of contribution, and trust that good things are coming. That trust spreads into every word, action, and decision. Poor mindsets do the opposite. They live in defense, afraid of mistakes, afraid of loss, afraid of not being enough. They reject opportunities before they even knock. Not because they're incapable, but because they don't believe they deserve. That mindset builds the limited reality around them. You can't control everything in life, but you can always control what you think. And what you think determines how you react. Wealthy thinkers don't live in denial. They acknowledge problems, but don't stop there. They ask, what can this teach me? How can I turn this into an advantage? Meanwhile, poor thinkers attach their identity to failure. One rejection, and they label themselves useless. Mindset is the highest personal power you possess. Use it to lift yourself up, not pull yourself down. When you change your mindset, you don't just change your view, you change your results. The world doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you believe is possible. To live richly, think like the rich. To live differently, think differently. Mindset isn't innate, it's trainable. Start today. Replace "I can't" with "how can I?" Every positive question you plant in your mind becomes the seed of a new reality. And if you keep planting, the day of harvest will surely come. Can the world truly change with just a single thought? Or is that merely a comfort for those too weak to confront reality? Some people live in scarcity but still cling to their comfort zone because they fear that the journey of rising up is more painful than poverty itself. Not everyone is ready to break away from old thinking to step into a new version of themselves. Is resignation a sign of maturity or proof of a mind that has already given up? When a belief is repeated long enough, it becomes the mold that imprisons an entire life. A new thought does not guarantee instant change, but it is certainly the only thing that can open a new path. The one who masters their thinking is the one who unlocks their own destiny. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.